So hopefully we got some people that are going to be participating and not staring at their phones. So, class, now let's pretend like you need this class to graduate, and if you don't, you will fail miserably. Okay, and then you'll drop out of high school and go live underneath a bridge and smoke crack for a living. I don't want anyone doing that, though. I don't, because I want you guys to all math. So I'm going to do my best to try and help you guys make this easy. So I need you participating here. So let's go ahead. So right here, law of cosine. This is different than law of sine. Law of cosine has to do with, all right, any triangle, some blah, blah, blah. Okay. Formula, blah, blah, blah. Okay, here it is. Law of cosine. This works when we have SAS. When you have SAS. But now I want you guys to write down a little bit more because I don't like the way they did this. I really don't. I don't like it here or there. I do not like it anywhere. So what I'm going to have you guys do is, because we don't solve for a squared, what do we always solve for? A. So how would I undo a square? Very good. So it would be A is equal to the square root of B squared plus C squared minus 2BC cosine of big A. Now, what am I missing from there? If I took the square root, what am I missing? Plus or minus. But am I really missing a plus or minus? No, why? It's what? Perfect. That's it. Can't have a negative distance. So that's the reason why it's not plus or minus. Because you're not going to have a negative distance on this. So therefore, if I was going to keep doing this, B would equal, that would be A squared plus C squared minus 2AC cosine of big B. C is equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared minus 2AB cosine of big A. No, it should be big C. Why did I say A? Should be, yeah, it should be big C. What did I do? Man, sorry about that. I handed them out last week. I think they're there. Is that it? Should be 7.3 in there somewhere. No? Yes? Yeah. Okay. I'm worried that I got it stuck in a different pile. There we go. Alrighty. So, note, if C is 90 degrees from the third of the law of cosine, it's actually just the Pythagorean theorem by itself. Now, let's take a look. Do we have SAS? Yes, we do. This little b is a side, right? The C in between the two is an angle. This over here is also a side. So it is side, angle, side. It is included. So which one am I solving for? This is important. So whenever you have this, you have to identify which one you're solving for. So if you have big C using law of cosine, you could only solve for little c. It's the only one that works out. You can't use law of sines on this. You could only use law of cosine to find this. That's it, period. So I'm going to use this over here. So that means that we're solving for little c, right? So let's just plug it into the formula that we just wrote down. So little c is equal to the square root of, that's going to be a, which is 423 squared, plus b, which is 259 squared, minus 2 times 423, sorry. You didn't just write that down? No? You just didn't what? Oh, okay. I'm sorry. That's kind of what I'm going by here. You want me to write it down first? Would that make it a little bit easier? Oh, okay. So could have just said that. Man. All right. So the formula is c equals the square root of, that's going to be a squared plus b squared minus 2ab cosine of big C. So that's the formula we're using there. So I'm going to keep plugging in here. So minus 2a, which is 423, b, which is, so this is times 259 times cosine of big C, which is 132 degrees 40 minutes. And all this is inside my radical right there. Yes, and when you put it in the calculator, what's important that you have to look before you mess this up? It's got to put in degrees, right? Make sure it's in degrees when you pick it up, because that's going to be key there. And I know this looks like a pain, but I need you guys to actually plug all this in. Plug it in. So don't just sit and wait for someone to do it for you. Yeah, they're in there. All right, what did we get? Say it again. 628. Point what? 101. Okay. Let's see. Does it say word around? Okay, right here, this here, find distance. Okay. Doesn't say word around. Now, important thing. What do we know about the triangle that's super special? This is just like basic rules of a triangle. All three angles add up to 180. That's a good start. Anything else? Yes. So you'll say 628.101. Let's just say 1 right here. So longest side, largest angle, right? Is this true here? Good. So that means that does work out. It does. Does that make sense, or is that just nonsense? Or I know it looks a little bit longer, but this one's actually easier because it's just one step. Just plug in for what you have. That's all you need to do. Okay, good. solve the triangle. So now we're going to do all sides and angles. So we have this thing right here. So again, side, angle, side. So you're given SAS, right? So what do we have to solve for from here? A. I have to solve for A. It's the only one I could solve for. Because I have big A, using law of cosine, it has to solve for little a. So plug it in using formula. So little a is equal to square root of, that one's going to be 12.9 squared plus 15.4 squared minus 2 times 12.9 times 15.4, close, cosine of my angle 42.3 degrees. And now this one is going to be a solve the triangle. That means all sides and all angles. All right, what do we get for little a? 10.5? Okay. Now, does that work? Okay, so that means that A has to be the smallest side. Okay, so that's important. It's supposed to be the small side. So let's go through and find the angles now. So we use law of cosine to find the side. We could use law of sine to find the angles, right? Yeah. Okay, go ahead. So if we're going to use this right here, that means that we're missing. So now we have a pair. So we have big A and little a. So we can solve for either big B or big C. So I'm going to start with, let's go with big B. Why not? So that means that I'm going to have 10. Actually, let me change up colors, because why not? I have different colors. Over sine of 42.3 is equal to 12.9 over sine of big B. Now, I want you guys to big brain here. We've been doing a whole bunch of law of sines at this point. We've done a whole bunch of cross products by this point. Let's see if you guys could actually jump straight to it. Big B is equal to, if I'm looking for an angle, I have to do the inverse. So it's going to be inverse sine. Now, big brain here. Big brain. What would I put in here? 12.9 sine of 42.3 over 10.5. Now, if you've been doing this over and over again, you should have this pattern down by now. All right, big B. What do we get for big B? What is it? 55.8. Okay, that's good. 55.8 degrees. All right, so far does that still work? We know that little b is bigger than little a, right? And so that means that big B has to be bigger than big A. Does that still work? Good. So we're going to do the same thing for C. So we're going to find big C. So I'm going to go here. I'm going to say 10.5 over sine 42.3 is equal to 15.4 over sine of big C. Now, you guys ready to big brain this one? So big C, anyone want to help me?
15.4 sine 42.3.
What goes first?
Sine, the inverse is
Yes, very good, very good. So inverse sine. And what'd you say? You said
15.4 sine 42.3 over 10.5.
very good. All right, and then big C. What do we get big C? Did you already get it?
Well, I just did 180 minus.
Oh, you did 180 minus?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I got 81 point. I don't know if that's
80. 80.8. Like that? Okay, so now you got what?
81.9.
81.9.
Oh, no, one of y'all gotta be wrong.
No.
They both right?
Now, the most correct one right now is 81.9. Law of sine, we had an approximation for these angles, didn't we? So since we had approximation for the angles, that means that the better way of solving, because an identity or a rule of a triangle, all three have to add up to 180, right? There we go. So the 81.9 is the better answer. But if you're showing this on a test to me, if you're showing me all this work right here, I'll still take it. There is a rounding issue because we approximated. That's our one issue we have. So the 81.9 is a better answer than 80.8. Now, does that make sense? Yeah, hopefully. But again, if you showed me your work on how you got the 81.9, I'll still give you the credit on that. But that's the better answer. All right. Anyone questions so far? Are we good? All right, let's see. Are we coming up to angles yet? Yeah, don't do this. Blech. Now, this one right here, applying law of cosines, triangle, ABC, uh-oh. It's a side, 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 isn't it? Now, what I'm going to do for you people, before we actually get into this one, I'm going to do some math. No, everyone here loves math. All right, so little a is 9.47. Little b, 15.9. Little c is 21.1.
Nice reference.
You get that? Did you get that one? Okay.
I understood it.
I know. You remind me of that guy.
For that?
Yeah.
I don't even know which guy said it. Like, oh, no, Danny reminds me of it.
Okay. Anyway, you ready? So, I'm going to do some math. So, I'm going to start off with the first one, which was, what do we have? A squared equals B squared plus C squared minus 2 cosine of, wait, no, 2 BC, right? Cosine of big A. Now, you guys are going to love me for this. Huh? No. So this time, we want to know what the angle is, right? So if we're looking for angles here, if we're looking for the angles, let's try and get big A by itself by doing some algebra first. So I could first get rid of the B and C, right? So I'm going to subtract B squared, subtract C squared from both sides. So now, and I'm going to rearrange it a little bit to make life a little bit easier. So now it's going to say A squared, stop it, minus B squared minus C squared is equal to negative 2BC cosine of big A. Now, if I'm trying to get the A by itself, what's this negative 2BC doing to my cosine A? Multiplying. How do I undo multiplication? Yeah, let's divide. So over here, those cancel out over there. And I'm going to rewrite it because I like having my cosine first here. So cosine of A is now equal to A squared minus B squared minus C squared all over negative 2BC. And if you're looking for the angle, you do the inverse. So I'm going to inverse that now, right? So it's now going to be A by itself is equal to inverse cosine. And when I do it, I switch all this. So this is now going to be inside my cosine. So that's going to be A squared minus B squared minus C squared all over negative 2BC. Oh, wait. Did I just make a formula for A?
Yeah.
Yes, I did.
Don't say that again.
Fine, forget this. Let me erase it and you do your own.
No.
Do you know how difficult these problems are without actually rewriting it first? I should, you know what? Forget you. You don't get to use this. You better show me every step.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So let's pretend like I know patterns. If I pretend like I know patterns, I could say angle B would be equal to, big brain here, big brain there. Good job. There is a pattern to all this. As soon as you guys can figure out how to work the pattern, the math becomes a lot easier. What about C? To what?
Wait, no, not B, C. It's A, B.
A, B. Yes.
So, like, so when you're doing the order on the top, like A, B, C, B, C, C, B, how do you, is it any order? Does it matter?
It does.
So, like,
What's positive? The others
Yeah.
what do you mean?
So if you notice here, I'm solving for A, right?
Yeah.
So what's the letter that goes first?
A. Oh.
That's A squared, and the other ones are minus.
I get that part, but
Solving for B.
the next two letters, like, it doesn't
Oh,
matter.
you want to switch those two? Those two are fine.
It doesn't matter?
Yeah, if you went CB over here,
Yeah.
they'll be fine.
Okay.
But there's a reason why it's a pattern. Yeah, it's a pattern. Just keep doing it over and over again. Just like right here, if you're solving for B, my first letter here is. Solving for C, first letter is.
I'm sorry, you recording right now?
Yeah.
Alright, cool. I did that.
You can't watch it though.
Not yet?
No, you can't.
I just can't.
You were supposed to get 100,000 views on the last one.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, but that didn't happen. So, do I have all sides here now? Say yes. Okay, let's go ahead and do this now. Let's start by solving for A. Big A.
Cosine,
Inverse cosine. Very good.
And then 9.47 squared minus 15.9 squared minus 21.1 squared
Very good.
over -2 15.9 squared and
It's not squared.
oh, never mind, not squared. 21.
There you go. Plug that in for me, please. Except for Diego. You have to do all this by hand.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. And what do we get for big A? Huh? Point 76. 24.8. Let's say about 24.8. And what am I going to know about this? Because I just rounded it.
So it's gonna be a little bit inaccurate when you go and do the next part, or the next steps.
Each one's going to be a little bit off.
Yeah.
But is the next one going to be off because the first one's off?
No.
No, why?
So it's a different angle.
It's a different angle.
Yeah.
But am I using A, big A?
Oh, no.
I'm not using big A, so that means each one, if I wanted to have an exact answer, I could put up to 8 decimal points to make sure that it is going to be correct. And then the same thing goes for each one. I could have it be exact also. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's do big B. So help me out, big B.
Oh, you look at me like that.
No, I'm getting you to actually try and do this.
I know, I did the last one. I got the same thing.
Okay, read it to me. What am I writing down?
For what? For Big B? I didn't do Big B. I did Big A.
So I'm asking you to do it.
Oh. Man, then you do it. Yes.
No.
'Cause I got like.
Hey. No, just read to me what I'm writing on the board. What are you going to put in first?
Literally, I have no idea. I'm really trying to catch up. I got
What? Ha, some people. You were just here for that. Did you write any of those down?
For what?
Those formulas.
Which formulas?
Never mind.
What I say?
Never mind. All right, someone else help me with this. Denny. What are we going to have? Inverse cosine.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. But then he can keep going. But then he can keep going.
Now you gotta take 15.9 squared minus 9.47 squared minus 21.1 squared over 2 9.47 21 points.
Anyone tell Denny where he's wrong?
Minus 1.
Yeah, you forgot the negative right there. So -2, that's important.
I'm playing it later.
Anyway,
Yeah, you're right.
I got 45.9.
45.9? Point one? Is it 0.1 or 9?
45.94, but I just did, but I think you could do 0.1, right? Because if you go to the left, I don't know.
Wait, hold on. You said, I almost heard the number. You said it's 45.9 what?
4.
That would round off to just 45.9. What'd you get? 10. Anyone else? You got that one too?
67.
He's got 167.
No, 44.
Oh, you forgot a 1?
I forgot a 1. Yeah.
Oh.
And the 21 point. I just put 21. Not
Oh,
21.
okay.
That's my bad.
There we go. Hey, no worries. So, but yeah, notice the difference just that little piece is going to make, right? So, 45.1? Yes? Okay, good. All right, you ready, Diego?
Yeah.
Go, Diego, go. Big C.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hold on. Hold on. Okay. So, inverse cosine, I'm assuming. And then, give me a second. 21.1 squared. Am I on the right track right now?
Yes, you are.
And then minus the other two, doesn't really matter the order, right? But do you want it in a specific order?
I kind of do.
Yeah, 9.47 squared. And then minus whatever the other one is, 15.9 squared. Over -2 negative 9.47 and 15.9.
There you go. Yes, good job. Good job. See? See?
It's so like if you're doing C, then you just take whatever the length of C is, and then you do minus the other one squared, and then over -2 and then the other one. Yeah. Okay.
Now, you notice a pattern. So if you keep doing it the same way every time, there is a pattern. Now, let's pretend like you also see this pattern here. 15.9, 21.1.
Yeah, those are the other side lengths. That's what I said. I was like subtracting the other one squared and over -2 the other one. The other one.
Not bad, right?
Yeah, not bad.
Okay. So I like law of cosine more than I like law of sine. Because sine has a problem. What's the problem with law of sine?
You have to find the angle before you find the side.
Almost. There's a special word for it.
There's 2 steps.
Ambiguous. Ambiguous. Because if you're doing law of sine, there is a possibility of having 0, 1, or 2 triangles because of it. Law of cosine does not have that. So, if you want to have the easier problems, try to do law of cosine all the time. Does that make sense? Sometimes you can't. Sometimes you got to do law of sine, but life goes on. And so let's pause here. Or do you guys just want to finish this and use the rest of the time for homework?
Homework.
Homework?
What was the answer?
Pause now. Okay, apologize. Okay, Denny forgot to give me the answer for C.
Okay. Maybe plug it in, yes.
I know someone actually said it. What was it? 109
Okay, I thought I'd say that. I just didn't want to be wrong.
point.
4. I got 4. Yeah. Oh no, 0.9.
Okay,
It was
bad
0.94.
penmanship, right?
0.94.
Okay, all right. So yeah, 109.9. So apologize. All right, so now again, do you guys want to finish the last problem now, or no? Okay,
Oh, yeah?
that's easy. Okay, there we go.